Well, Concord recently had its first gameplay reveal. It looks like it's going to be a really good mixture of Destiny 2 and Overwatch PvP gameplay. So if you're a fan of Destiny 2 PvP, I think there's plenty of reasons to be excited about Concord, and today I'm going to get stuck into the details about what we know so far, and also why I think this is going to be a great game for all Destiny 2 PvP fans. Well, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below for even more Concord content. Okay, first of all, let's have a look at what Concord is. So Concord is a dedicated PvP 5 vs 5 first-person shooter set in the Concord galaxy. So it draws inspiration from sci-fi, anime, films and TV. At its core, it is a PvP game with a mix of game modes including objective and also classic deathmatch as well. The developers Firewalk Studios also have got an interesting take on narrative, planning a weekly story update, and much of the marketing around this game is focused on that narrative element, with people asking, why don't you just make a single player game or have a single player mode? Well, to be honest, I think the answer is pretty simple to that one. If you've got a PvP and PvE game mode in the same game, you've got to balance everything to work across all the various game modes. This is dedicated PvP, so the team only needs to balance and tune across the PvP game mode. So this dedicated PvP and also the team's connections to Bungie are why I'm excited for this game. Well, let's have a look at those Bungie connections next. So Firewalk Studios started in 2018 with Ryan Ellis, Tony Sue and Elena Siegman leaving Bungie and Activision as part of the video game incubation company Probably Monsters. So Ellis and Siegman, they were former Bungie employees as creative director and producer, whereas Sue worked at Activision as a general manager and also a senior vice president of the Destiny IP. So in April 2021, it was announced that Sony and Probably Monsters signed a deal for the former to publish Firewalk's first project as a AAA multiplayer title for the PlayStation 5. And of course, that would go on to be Concord. Then in April 2023, Sony announced its intentions to acquire Firewalk from Probably Monsters for an undisclosed sum. And also we got Josh Hamrick too, instrumental in Destiny 2's PvP, and Josh also joined Firewalk Studios sometime in the past, and Josh, to be honest, is one of the main reasons why I'm interested in Concord. Well, next up, let's have a look at the narrative very briefly. So in Concord, you play as the crew of the North Star, a group of guns for hire known as free gunners. So the free gunners roam these stars, taking in high-stakes jobs on worlds across wild space where they face other competitive free gunner crews. So from match to match, you're going to form teams of free gunners with other players and battle it out with rival crews to take home the reward across a variety of maps and modes. And also, if you've seen the narrative little vignette that they released at the last Sony State of Play, it takes a lot of inspiration from Guardians of the Galaxy. So if that kind of humour is something you enjoy, I reckon this might be right up your street. But I will get into this a little bit later on in the video. I do think the narrative is very, very, very much secondary to the gameplay, and that is a nice segue into the gameplay. So let's have a look at the gameplay now. So Ryan Ellis from Firewalk Studios has been talking about the gameplay, and Ryan said, so from the beginning, we wanted to make a tight, well-balanced FPS that feels great to play from the moment that you pick up the controller. While our core gunplay is going to feel familiar to shooter fans, the versatility and the variety of each free gunner and their abilities make it so aim and thumb skill alone aren't always enough to come out on top. Each free gunner's abilities are designed to make it so players of a wide range of skill levels and playstyles can be effective, even those that are new to the genre, while providing additional challenge and depth for those looking for high-stakes, high-sweat competitive play. From powerful mystics and towering robots to skilled gunslingers and snipers, we want each free gunner's personality and gameplay abilities to come alive in every element of how they play and the strategic considerations that they create. Some free gunners' ability are made for the all-in-the-moment tactics, including casting of firewalls, throwing exploding knives, so both of those things are very, very related to Destiny. Also, lobbing trash bombs. Others can also have an enduring impact on a match, like deployable walls that can block entire lanes, or explosive traps and bullet-blocking domes, speed-granting spores, and also more persistent across rounds and respawns. So inspired by some of our favourite fighting and strategy games, all of these abilities and mechanics come together to create a unique asymmetry to the characters and the opportunities for improvisation that make every fight and every matchup a chance of something different and unexpected to happen. Well, that was Ryan Ellis there from Firewalk Studios talking about the gameplay. So regarding the gameplay, I think it's very, very clear that some of the characters are inspired by Destiny 2 Guardians. We can see the dodge reload, we can see the throwing knife, also the revolver that looks very similar to The Last Word. Plus we've got a character floating around and throwing down a wall of fire. Looks very, very similar to a solar warlock. You know, we've always wondered what dedicated Destiny 2 PvP would be like without the burden of PvE balancing. And to be honest, I think Concord could be it. Well, next up, let's have a look at the game mode. So Concord is going to launch with 6 game modes. We've got Takedown, Trophy Hunt, Area Control, Clash Point, Signal Chase, and Cargo Run. First of all, we've got Takedown. So each kill players and their team achieve will net them points throughout the game. The team with the most points at the end is the winner. So this one basically is your standard deathmatch mode. We've got Trophy Hunt. So killing an enemy crew member will drop a token, and the collection of the tokens will earn them points for the team. And the team with the most points at the end wins. So this is very similar to Kill Confirmed in other shooters. We've got Area Control, so 3 capture zones are going to spawn on the map. Maintaining control of the zones will net players points. So the more zones a team simultaneously controls, the more points they accrue. So this sounds very familiar compared to Control in Destiny 2. We've got Clash Point, so teams have to locate and defend a designated zone on the map from the enemy crew, or just eliminate them before they get a chance to contest. Sounds very much like King of the Hill. We've got Signal Chase. The teams have to locate and control various zones on the map with a limited time to earn points. And we've got Cargo Run, so teams will be split between trying to safely extract valuable cargo or trying to steal the enemy's crew cargo as well. So 6 game modes to start off with the launch of the game. That is very, very promising indeed. Next up, we've got a little bit about the evolving universe. So again, Ryan from Firewalk Studios says, Concord Galaxy is full of danger and adventure. We're going to be unwrapping more in the coming weeks and months. At launch, Concord is going to have a roster of 16 distinct free gunners to learn and master, and the North Star crew will grow over time through regular free post-launch updates that introduce new playable free gunners, maps, modes, cinematic vignettes, and a whole lot more. So 16 characters at launch, that is very, very good news. It's worth noting, in this game, you can't create your own character like you can in Destiny 2. You actually get a choice of 16 free gunners at the launch of the game, and it sounds like they're going to offer more over time. It is worth noting at this point the cost of the game, so this is not a free-to-play game. This is one of those $40 games, or I think here in the UK it's going to be $34.99. So it's similar to Helldivers 2, so I think that is a really interesting price point. For me, I think that's pretty good, because you pay that one-off fee. I don't think this is a pay-to-win situation. You're playing that flat fee at the beginning, although there are going to be seasons, there are going to be battle passes, but it's all going to be cosmetics through there. It's not going to be a pay-to-win mechanic. Personally, I think with dedicated PvP, you've got to have a barrier to entry, because that keeps all the cheaters out, but also you have to balance that. You want to get as many players into the game as possible, so that $40 price point is going to be very, very interesting. And let me know down in the comments what you think. It certainly didn't stand in the way when it came to Helldivers 2. That game was really, really fun. Word spread like wildfire. Loads of players came into the game. And that $40 price point wasn't really a problem. But I would love to hear what you think related to Concord. Also, we've got these cinematic vignettes that are going to unlock week over week. So Ryan says again, alongside getting to know the crew of the North Star through gameplay, you're also going to have an opportunity to see their stories unfold through cinematic vignettes that are going to premiere in-game starting weekly at launch. These brief cinematic vignettes are going to feature ongoing narrative arcs that grow the characters' stories, relationships, and unpack the broader Concord Galaxy, and also their life as a free gunner. You know, much has been said about these cinematic vignettes, and it's going to be interesting to see how Firewalk keep up with these, as I'm sure they're probably very expensive to produce. You know, at the end of the day, I think it all comes down to gameplay. If this game is fun, fans are going to want to find out more about the story. If this game is not fun, then the cinematic vignettes don't really matter. So personally, I'm hoping they get off to a really, really good start. Okay, so if any of this has piqued your interest, we've got an open and closed beta coming up very, very soon. So we've got 2 betas coming up, one closed for players who pre-order and then an open beta for everybody. So if you're interested in the closed beta, you can play from the 12th to the 14th of July by pre-ordering Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC, and then the open beta follows on the 18th to the 21st of July, where everybody can jump in. Well, Concord is set for release on the 23rd of August 2024 on PlayStation 5 and PC, and for all you Destiny 2 PvP fans out there, I think this is one you should be keeping your eye on. Well, let me know down in the comments what you think about Concord, and that is it today for this look at Concord and it being a mixture between Destiny and Overwatch. And as always, thank you so much for watching or for listening. Don't forget you can hit that subscribe button down below for even more Concord content here on Endgame Express. You can also like the video and share the video too. That would really help me out here on the channel. Well, thanks again, and I'll see you soon.